guess I need to get that music sorted out. See, there it is. Adrian, you're a positive dude. I appreciate you. Yeah. Yo, so this happened.
So September is National Preparedness Month, and it's got me thinking, are you ready?
Yeah, right. Are you? What's up, y'all? We're going to talk a little bit about what Devin had to offer, and then I'm going to bandwagon that shit because I think that's I think there's some additional information that is important. First, I don't care what month it is. Filipino Reefer. Wade Riles. Filipino Reefer, you jump in early, yelling at clouds. I see what you're doing. Adrian Mitchell. Hello, sir. Hey, Peter. So, Devin talked about, I'm just going to get right to it. Is that cool? We're not going to do an Instagram review. I mean, we can. We threw a spaceship at this cool moon that's circling another small, almost, I mean, what's up, Mom? And a tiny little thing. You know how they're doing this? So they hit this freaking moon, this moon that's circling an asteroid, right? And what they're trying to do is slow down the rotation. They hit it head on. They're trying to slow down the rotation of that moon, because if they slow down how fast that thing's going around that stupid asteroid, then its speed will increase, because it'll fall towards, it'll fall towards the asteroid that it is swinging around. And then the blink that occurs when they're watching that asteroid, because every time the thing comes by, it decreases the light a little bit, then it increases again, because right, it's just blocking the view a little bit. That's how they find planets around other stars. They'll be able to see if there's a time difference, because they know how long it takes for that tiny little moon to circle that tiny little asteroid. So they'll be able to see the time difference that it takes to know if we successfully Bruce Willis the shit out of a moon. I met that guy. We talked about it. I toured him in the B-2 cockpit. But anyway, so Devin gets to talking about backup power. What's up, Dad? I'm confused. It's Tuesday, and I changed water yesterday. What to do now? I mean, get a drink, have a little sip, a little pour. That takes me to another story where I got in trouble once, but maybe we'll save that for later. Speaking of asteroids, Devin's talking about National Preparedness Month. I don't care, right? I mean, it's cool that he's doing this. It's cool that he's sharing his experience. It's also super cool that I think the direction he's heading is going to be significant for backup power and reefing. But your boy been telling you to get backup power forever. It doesn't have to be a month, like a named month, to realize that if you can spend some money on some reef, you can spend some money on some lights, you ought to have backup power. It can be simple, right? Devin's main points were you need to maintain flow. He didn't really go into what flow. He kind of said power adds, but that's cool. But some people will select return pump over power heads. What's up, Jaylene? It should be every day to prepare or never. No, that's false choice. It's never too late to be prepared. So decide what water you want to move. Do you want to move your return pump? Because there's nothing wrong with that. You really don't want a sump becoming stagnant. A matter of hours isn't going to hurt anything at all. But if you're talking about days, like hurricane, and your power's out for a week or something, maybe you want to keep your sump running. And you could do that. Just think about that. Do you want to move power heads, or do you want to move a return pump? Because that will dictate what kind of backup power you're going to be looking at. Spares. All about that. Have spares. Have 3 heaters in your garage, because one day you're going to need one. Buy them when they're in stock. Guess what? Heaters are in stock right now. It's not winter yet. Go buy your heaters. Go buy your backup heaters. I totally agree with Devin's take on that. Common equipment. Awesome recommendation. So if you've got a mixing station, if you have whatever, if you've got 2 aquariums, try to have as much common equipment between the 2 as possible, because if one craps out, you can go get the other one that you really don't use much, say from a mix station. I agree with that. Have a roadie system. I know people don't. I know people, for whatever reason, can't. But if you can, if you add up the money that it's going to cost for you to go buy water from the LFS, it's going to be cheaper in the long run for you to have a roadie, for sure. 9-volt batteries, spatula mixing. I don't know about 9-volt. You need flow that will generate surface agitation. You don't, but you can get that, Scott. You can get that out of the sump, right? Your agitation is in your sump. You're reoxygenating the water from the sump. You don't need it But as long as you're moving that water, you will be creating some oxygenation. I get it, but some people will prefer to move water in their sump than with just power heads in a tank. Back to roadie. Buy a roadie. Buy a small roadie and start building your way up. It was a big damn deal when I bought a roadie because I was like, I finally got one. I don't have to use hose water, which is how I started, or I don't have to use refrigerator filtered water, which is where I went next. I was super happy to have a roadie. Clean your gear, common sense, right? Not that big of a deal, and it's something that isn't necessarily associated with preparedness, especially if you have spares, but it's good to keep your gear clean, says the guy that hardly ever cleans his gear. And then generator. Absolutely something that if you're reefing, you should have, even if it's a small one. I have two I bought them on Amazon. If you watch Black Friday deals or something, you get these things super cheap. They're the same as the small Predators you can get. I don't know, what are they, 2,000 watt or something like that? They're not really. That's like peak. So maybe 1,600, 1,800 watt continuous. Same as the Predator, smaller Predators that you'll buy at Harbor Freight, something like that. They're great generators. I got two. I just wait for them to go on sale. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to go get another one. Because, what's up, Bert? Because they were cheap. So, have a generator. Have a small generator. Great advice. Devin offered that up. And then he's also talking about, and you'll see this here, he's talking about an MPP solar, I think he said MPPG, but it's MPP solar automatic transfer switch that allows you to plug it into your wall and have the electricity that's from your wall powering your devices. In the event of a power failure, it automatically transfers, automatic transfer switch, automatically transfers via switch over to battery power through a pure sine wave inverter inside of your solar charge controller, automatic transfer switch, pure sine wave inverter device. That's an all-in-one device. And I have the 800 watt version. It's no longer available. The 1,000 watt replaced it. What I like about this device is because you can buy multiples, so you're distributing some of your failure opportunity, reducing it by creating redundancy, and then you're able to use a 12-volt battery. So the big thing for me is simplicity, and I want to be able to I want to get 12 volts wherever the hell I can get 12 volts. If I can get it from a car battery, if I can get it from my lithium iron phosphates that I got in the cabinet over here, if I could do whatever, I want to be able to get 12 volts. There it is. Kyle says all the ones are getting better and cheaper every 6 months. So this is from Watts247. Actually, I'll just type it here. This is a dude named Ian who I've had one of these for 3 years. And Devin recently hit me up. He was talking about all the ones. I was all, you mean like this? And he's like, what? You have what? So we talked about that for a while. I like that he's heading in that direction because I think this is not sponsored, right? Not sponsored. So I think this is an appropriate level of, I don't want to say extreme. It's a little extra. Appropriate level of extra UPS. This is essentially an all-in-one UPS. You add your own battery. You already have the inverter. And if you want, then you can add solar to this thing too. You can Devin's got 400 watts. I got the same panels up on my house. You can add solar to this thing and run your tank off of battery being charged by solar all day. And then nighttime, it switches back over to grid power. Unless you have big batteries. Yeah. So consider all of the equipment that you're going to have in your house that's not UL listed. Like the bulk of our reefing gear. These are life choices that you make. If you so choose to make this life choice and your house burns down, you should add sprinklers. So, I mean, think about it. Think about all of the stuff we have in our house that's not UL. Make a choice. So I'm gonna add to. I think I'll add. Oh, very early on, if you caught some of these chats, you saw Filipino Reefer. Let's watch this. Filipino Reefer talking about 18650. This is a pouch. This is a lithium pouch battery. I'm going to show you. This is not an 18650, but it's the same chemistry. This is why I don't like 18650s, which is what's in my car and what's in the cabinet next to me, because I played with these things. Watch this. This is Will Prowse. If you don't watch Will Prowse on YouTube, start now.
All right, here we go, guys.
Lithium battery, lithium pouch.
Oh, God. You see that gas?
Chicken. Noonan. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, fireworks. Ooh.
Yeah, bull. That is not safe.
Wait for it. There we go.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
What's up, man? Yeah. So, okay. That, and I've had this happen. I've had an 18650 go up on me. That's what can happen if you inappropriately play with, puncture, damage, something, overcharge, cook, run them without a BMS, battery management system. This can happen with the chemistry of an 18650. It's not fear-mongering. Play with these batteries. I have them. They're sitting right next to me. Respect them. Know what they're capable of and treat them appropriately. Don't drop something metal on them. Listen to them hum and then get ready, because fireworks are going to happen. This is why I recommend a lithium iron phosphate, because it's a non-flammable chemistry.
And this time I have a face mask, safety glasses, and
Also
I'm wearing
Will.
pants. No Crocs. Also, it's my birthday. I'm 32.
Happy birthday, brother. Who the hell wears Crocs? Watch this. Lithium iron phosphate.
Look at that. Nothing.
What's up, Zach? Getting a little smoky. All right, watch. Bert, you're tight like a tiger. Why don't you just ride on a Gilligan bike? Keep all your business charged up.
So a nice slow burn and super boring.
Boring. This is what I want.
So nothing really happened. It got a little hot. It burned kind of like a small piece of wood. It did not spread. If there was another cell next to it, it wouldn't spread to that cell.
Notice how... See, that's it. That's all I got to share there. Notice how the pouch didn't inflate, right? The pouch didn't expand. The pouch didn't do what the lithium pack did. Yeah, don't do that. Again, Filipino Reefer, talking about stuff you don't know. You think you know. You watch the internet. You think you know. Don't we have enough of that? You don't need to be that guy. You sasshole. We already talked about it. Here's my add-on to Devon's. First, I think Devon's going to go lithium iron phosphate too. Pretty excited about that. It's about time some bigger streamers catch on to the fact that, Devon talked about in his video how he uses an Ecotech. I don't know why the hell you're going to pay. How much are they now? $180. They're $170, right? Somebody check that. I would say $170 for a $30 18 amp hour lead acid battery. How many times have I talked about this? With a cheap, super cheap charger, not UL. And in 3 years, that battery is just junk. It's maybe 50% capacity. Go ahead and take your Ecotech battery back up after 3 years and do a load test. I'll help you. And then, whatever. This, number two. Number one was, what flow do you want? Do you want power heads? Do you want return pump? Number two, what kind of electricity does your gear take? do you have 12 volt? Do you have 24 volt? Do you have an Ecotech return pump that's 36 volts? What kind of electricity does your gear take? And this really became a thing with the Hydros Kraken, because the Kraken supplies 12 and 24 volts through various ports on the unit until it's on battery, and then all the ports are 12 volt. Meaning your 24 volt devices that require 24 volts are not going to operate. So you need to know the voltage of your devices. If they are 12, 24, 36, that's manageable through devices that will attach. Again, why I select 12 volt batteries. They'll attach to a 12 volt battery to create, they boost the voltage, DC voltage, to the voltage that you want. You want 24 volts, you get a 24 volt booster. You want 36, that's what Ecotech does. They'll sell you a booster for their return pumps that connect to their hyper expensive battery backup 18 amp hour lead acid cell to create the 36 volts that you need to run their return pump. So your MPP transfer switch between your tank breaker and the outlets. I keep thinking I want to do a whole house sans AC, but I know that's an order of magnitude of cost higher. It absolutely is, but that's also, and when Devin and I were talking, I think it was weekend before last, he's looking at a big system. He's looking at a larger 24 or 48 volt system that you could add two, and then you could whatever. That's a beast. You could almost do. I mean, it comes down to wattage, right? And that's easy math. You understand. You get a device that measures how much electricity you're using on an average over whatever. Over 30 days on a heavy use day, AC, whatever. Sans AC, you said. So whatever. You do some measuring and you understand what your load requirement is, and you buy appropriately sized device or dual device. And then you're going to need some serious batteries to support a whole house. So that's something you need to consider. So what's recommended to get? Battery backup? It totally depends on what your equipment is. You need to understand what that is. If your equipment is DC, there's no reason to connect it to a UPS that's AC unless you're going to use something like one of the all-in-ones that I shared, right? You could do it two different ways. You can connect just your AC equipment to that thing and then connect through various devices your DC equipment, like the Reef Box. I understand Reef Builder did an article about the Reef Box. So you could buy a Reef Box, and you could connect it directly to your battery that's charged by grid or solar, and then you can connect your devices to the Reef Box, and then you can connect the power supply that came with your device to the Reef Box, and now you have a perfectly adequate DC backup power system for that particular device. And without having to go through the dual conversion of battery to inverter and back to your wall warts, right? Your 12 volt power supply to your device, or your 24, or your 36, or whatever. I personally want to connect my DC equipment, whatever that is, sans lights, I don't care about lights, to the battery directly. AC stuff like heaters, like I have a heater on my battery backup, my 800 watt battery backup. You need to decide what you want to do. You need to understand your equipment. Number two, understand your equipment, because that matters when you start selecting a system. I got a wire on my 6-line RAS. He swims around and creates electromagnetic static, which I use to power my Jabo. I like that. What I think we should do is we should capture the energy from keyboard warriors and trolls as they're pounding on their keys. Capture that energy and then distribute that amongst us all. I think that would be the right thing to do. 2, know your equipment. 3. Oh, wait a minute. Did I screw that up? Oh, no. We already talked about it. So you have a generator. And the bad thing happens. Guess what? You're not home. But whatever, because you've prepared. Have an extension cord in a location that's easily reached. The biggest thing that people won't be prepared for is just a stupid extension cord. How do I unplug my critical equipment and plug it into my generator if I only have a 6-foot something or other, right? So you set up your generator outside because you bought a generator because you're smart. Then you go get your extension cord and you unplug 1 or 2 things that are super critical from wherever they are, and it has to be simple, and I'll get to that. And you plug it into your extension cord, which may be, right, you may plug in a power strip to that extension cord and just keep going. Either way, what you're going to do is make it simple. You just want to be able to unplug 1 thing or 2 things, depending on the number of tanks, and just plug it immediately into that extension cord. Know where your extension cord is, and know that you've wired up your equipment in such a way that it's super easy to just yank it out of the wall, right? You yank your EBA 32 or your GHL power supply, probably not your Hydros Wi-Fi, maybe the X whatever the hell 8 XP8, because it's wired and that makes more sense, especially during an outage. And you plug it directly into your extension cord. Makes it easy. You don't have to think about it, especially because the bad thing is going to happen when you're not home. You have to be prepared for a power outage when you're not home. And you have to have, you just need to know. You need to know that it's incredibly simple. So if you have some help, you can walk those people through doing what you need them to do. When I'm gone, my neighbor's usually here. When I'm gone, my daughter's usually here. And I can call either one of them. And I need to be able to very simply explain what I need and how fast I need it. That kind of thing. Have an extension cord available and easy to reach. Know that it's long enough because you don't want to plug it into the generator. Who knows where your neighbor's going to put your generator. They may put it in the front yard, whatever, in your driveway, fire it up and plug in your extension cord, run in the house. Too short. Bert kind of touches on her right there. So have an extension cord that is long enough. Have an extension cord that's easy to find. Have an extension cord that will reach everything that you need it to reach. You need something 4. Wait, 3 was extension cord. 4. You need to know that power's out when you're not home, because the bad thing is going to happen when you're not home. Always assume it's going to go to shit. That's what, right? Everybody's like, oh, I got a generator. Do you? Cool, because it's going to crap out when you're not home. Do you have a generator that's easy to grab, a generator that's easy to start, an extension cord that's nearby? But because it's going to happen when you're not home, you need to have some level of notification, whether you set that up through a controller. There's a Nest Cam right there. I love Nest Cams because as soon as they drop offline, and they're going to drop offline because I don't have it on a UPS, I get a notification on my phone. The first thing I usually get is either a Nest or Hydros telling me that I've lost power, because those are the only 2 I have set up to tell me. Have something at home that notifies you that you have lost power. And then you can go from there. You can call your neighbor, yo, your TV on? No. Oh, hey, you mind helping? I'll buy you dinner when I get back. Or I'll pay your kid $20 an hour to help me out, that kind of thing. Have a system of notification, whatever that is, and make sure it works. Test it, unplug it, wait for your notification. Here's the big one for me, because this one came up with Texas, right? When Texas got froze over, hell froze over. Shocker. So where's Rap next week? So Have what you need. Have what you need before you need it. It's coming. Whatever's going to take you out is coming. Whatever storm is going to happen is coming. Whatever earthquake, whatever hurricane, whatever fire, whatever, tornado, it's coming. If you have taken the time to cycle your tank and select your lights, and well, you do that the other way, right? If you have taken the time to set up and care for a reef tank, have what you need to keep it alive when the bad thing happens. I don't get it. People are like, shit, what do I need? That's a question you ask before you need it. I don't get it. Do it. Ask right now. Write down everything right now. I'll sit here. Hold on. Write down everything that you think you need for your tank to survive while you're not home and or tornado comes and wipes out your neighborhood except for your house. Go. I'll wait. You better be writing. You done yet? If you're done, you didn't write enough. Have what you need before it happens. Because if it happens and you don't have what you need, it's too late. And you're going to be all, the storm killed my shit. That's because you're stupid. You deserve it. But they're animals, so keep them alive. Don't be stupid. We already talked about a friend. We talked about my neighbor. We talked about my daughter. Walk them through the process of very easily grabbing the generator and firing it up because you want that to be easy. Very easily grabbing the extension cord and plugging that into your generator, and it's long enough. Very easily unplugging, like you could put some colored tape on there, you could put a sticker on there, you could do whatever you want. You could spray paint it red. This red thing is the thing that I need to unplug and plug into my extension cord to keep my aquarium alive. You got to walk your neighbor, your kids, your whatever, significant other, if you're business traveling, whatever. All of it. You got to walk them through so it's not a panic situation when it happens. When it happens, you go, I know what to do because this already happened, or I walked through it and I saw. It's the same thing as a gas chamber when you're in in the military, right? I'm in the Air Force. And one of the things we got to know how to do is don and doff our chem gear. So what do? They stick you with a face mask on, with a gas mask on. They stick you in this little hut, and there's tear gas in there, right? They drop these little things, and you got to stomp around, and everybody's moving, and you got to get that stuff up in the air. Why? Because they want you to experience it. Then they go, hold your breath, take off your mask, and you're all, say what? And they're like, yeah, do it. And everybody takes off their masks. And they got their eyes shut, and they open their eyes, and their eyes start burning, and because their eyes start burning, they go, and then, oh, shit, the bad thing has happened, and now you can't think, and you can't focus, and they want you to be in that position so you know how to react when it's real. Because another time it got real. So we all knew what to do. Do that with your friends and your neighbors. That's an extreme example. Not really. It's a relevant example. Walk your people through the process of saving your aquarium. Step by step. Buy them lunch. Buy them a pizza. Say, yo, come over. Have some beer. The pizza. I'm going to walk you through this. Also, do it for yourself. That way, when you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, because that's when it happens. I've worked on call like my whole life. Except for when I kind of did it at McDonald's too. Walk yourself through it. That way, it's just, you're a robot. You just do it, and it's done, and you don't have to worry about it. You got to know. Oh, because you're smart, you bought a generator, right? And you gassed it up. Yup. Run it. Take it outside and run it once a quarter. So you know that the stupid generator is going to run. And so you use some of the gas and you fill it up with fresh. Take it outside and run it. Take it outside, fire it up. And then go eat dinner. At home. Don't leave. Go watch a football game. Go take a nap. That's okay. It'll be outside. And then when you wake up, your generator's still running, all is well. If your generator's not running, you better figure out why. Because that could happen. Oil could be low, whatever, anything. Check your generator and make sure it's working. Turn it off. Let it cool down. Gas it up. Put it away. And 3 months later, do the same thing. Run that generator. It's going to be the one damn time when you need it and you were like, oh, I ain't run this generator in 2 years. Hope it starts. Here's your sign. You don't need a reef. Battery backups. This, you know damn well, this is a topic near and dear to my heart. Wait, let me scroll. Let me see. Oh, volcano. I missed volcano. God damn it. I'm a troll. I'm a troll energy. I'm an energy troll. I'm scrolling. Yeah. UL. I don't care. I buy stuff from LE. Radioactivity. Overplayed emoji that reefers use on EG. Yeah, but in real life, fire emoji. They stole that from Tesla. No, they didn't. $200. What's $200? MPP transfer we touched on. Battery backup we touched on for Adrian. It all depends on your equipment. Bert and his 6 line because he understands it. He's tight with the 6 line. Everyone's tank will burst from that amount of energy. If Bert was being tight like a tiger, riding a Gilligan bike and powering it, yeah, I agree. Next time, buy cheap stuff. I do. Keep the cord with the generator. Done. Agreed. Put it on top. Don't move it. In 3 months, you don't know what you're going to do. Use a big enough extension cord because size matters. I lost power twice this month. 2 people crashing into telephone poles near my house. Pretty sure they were both drunk. You know what they didn't do? They didn't care that you had a fish tank. They say you should not run a generator for long periods of time. How long is the limit before you give the generator a break? I don't know who says that, but I need my generator to run for a long period of time. Check the oil. Make sure the oil's okay. If I'm camping, guess what? And I can run my generator and it's hot out, I run my generator for a long period of time. If I need to use the 2 small externals hooked in parallel to power the AC on the motorhome, I'll run them. I mean, I've run a generator all night. I don't care. I stop while I'm traveling and fire the generator up. Poof, I got AC and I go to sleep. I wake up in the morning. Run that generator. I plugged mine into the dryer. That's where I plugged in my car. When we ran ours, do a 30, 60 minute break every 8 hours. Yeah, I just fire the thing up because I don't care. I guess that kind of makes sense because you could run it for a while, keep your tank happy, and then go to sleep and wake up. I don't know. I just keep the thing running. That's why I have 2. I think we ran our generator, keep a return heater, going 3 days. Yup. Forgot the ice cap. Oh God, that Tyler, why you trolling me, Tyler? Forget the ice cap. My power went out, and the thing lasted 45 minutes on a Jar 350. All the stuff to build a big red Amazon today. Booms. Yeah. Okay. So the ice cap battery, because I've already talked about Ecotech and shaming them for their freakishly expensive 18 amp hour lead acid battery. The ice cap battery, right? 18 amp hours is Ecotech. Ice cap for $20 less, 2.5 amp hours. 18 Ecotech, ice cap 2.5. What? For 100 and what is it? $150? 2.5 amp hours. There's a story about CoralVue having people over playing cards and funding a sushi chef, a sushi chef, to hang out in the house and make sushi for you while you play cards. 2.5 amp hour battery backup for $150. I'd have more than a sushi shop at my house. Okay. Seriously, that's a ripoff. Late to the party. What's up, Samuel? I just filled up gas cans, truck, and all my equipment. Should be able to keep the generator running for a bit. Yup. You got 5 days off, don't you? Because you got a little hurricane coming. Yeah. You better have the money to replace it. Yeah. I mean, don't try. Look. Don't kill your stuff. They're depending on you. Don't kill your stuff. Don't kill your critters. Nice thing about living in the middle of the desert. Got those damn... You have some damn problems, Sam. Because I was in 1993. My bad. In 1993, I come over the hill from the Hoover Dam side. I can see Vegas because it's nighttime. All the lights, boom, power goes out. Vegas drops, except for the generator powered because they dropped and came back. You have power outages in Vegas. I've seen it. Oh, transport field modulator. Yeah. I think we're talking about the generator, Kyle. Do the proper maintenance on it. Check the oil in a generator is super cheap. Use synthetic. Use the right blend. And do it upright. Bert, message retracted, but I'll see it later. On average, a standby generator can run for up to 3,000 hours powering a medium-sized house, though it is recommended that you do not run a generator for longer than 500 hours continuously. Almost 500 hours. You're making me do math. 500 divided by 24. 21 days. I mean, if my generator is going to stay running, I'm not going to refuel it hot. Don't do that. But yeah, if you have a generator, run your generator. The wind generator that you spoke about can run indoors. No. Do not run a generator. I'm sorry. Do not run a generator indoors. It goes outside. It's a gas generator. Lowe's, you can buy a generator. Then after the storm, take it back. Get your money back. Or keep the generator, because that would be better. Thank you, Dad. Just finished wiring up diesel gen to my panel. Had me crawling around underneath the house, spider webs and dirt. See, that's the right way. What's up, Nico? 2.5 amp hour is what my weed eater runs on, not my aquarium. So I was poking around the... Is it the Hydros? It's the Hydros Facebook group. And there's a post about somebody wanting to have a nice cabinet solution for proper wire management of your Hydros and to properly set in the IceCap 2.5 amp hour battery. Like, you want to show that off? Like, you think you've got a thing? 2.5 amp hours? I bet you drive a big truck. Hurricane Avenue. Mississippi. Yeah, boy, you got Mississippi. Yeah, I've seen power outages in Vegas. Tri-fuel from Amazon, add a natural gas stub out inside. See, that's good. Have a generator. Oh, if you reef, have a generator. Oh, if you reef, don't rely on your friend to have a generator for you, because your friend might need your generator. Just buy a cheap ass. Go buy a generator. Spend the $400. Get out there and run it. If you can't bend over and reach up and power that thing up, then you just don't reef either. Thousands less than a generator. Yeah, okay. So a lot of, like the WEN, you can find a company that'll offer a dual fuel conversion for the WEN. So you could run off of propane, I think. I don't know that they have the orifice for natural gas. Or you just use gasoline. Well, I could get it, but it was a pain in the ass. What was? Man, you just do it. Just do it. All right. So, last thing. What's this? 8. Battery backups are not what you rely upon for a duration of time. The battery backup. I got this. Actually, I got a little bit of this when I first started talking about batteries. From a semi-local guy. He's like, I got a generator. I don't need a battery. That's cool. What happens when you ain't home? What happens when you get a notification because your internet went out, because your power went out, and your camera's offline, your camera app sends you a camera's offline, and you look and you can't get a hold, you can't remote in, none of your equipment's responding. What do you do before you can get something in place to keep your tank alive? That's what a battery backup is for. A battery backup is to keep the system running until you can either, or like during a hurricane, you got to evacuate, whatever, is to keep it running as long as you possibly can when the bad thing happens. And then that gives you time to come home and get your generator out and follow your super mundane task of connecting that thing up because you've totally practiced, or your neighbors have practiced, or your adult children have practiced. Battery backups, which I have a whole bunch of, are to keep you operating, keep your tank operating until you can get home and come up with a more permanent or suitable solution. Because no matter how hard you try, your tank, especially running with a heater on a battery, isn't going to last all that long. You can keep adding batteries. And that's good. That's what you should do. Buy the batteries you can afford, and then later buy more of the same that you can afford. If you keep adding them in parallel, you're adding capacity, and then your tank will last longer. I can say that, and I told Devin this. I was like, this thing, it was a super boring project because it just works, right? It's been in the closet with the frag tank for 3 years, and it just keeps working. And I installed the panels up on the roof. I wired that all myself. I brought it down, plugged it in. Poof, we got juice. You do that at your own risk. You don't do that because Telegram tells you to. Jim Graham says it's okay to just hook shit up. And no, that's on you. I did it because that's on me. And my house has sprinklers. But remember, battery backup. Battery backup is to tide you over until you get your generator running. Know what flow you want, number 1. Number 2, know the backup requirements of the equipment you want to keep running when the bad thing happens. That's number 2. Number 3, critical gear on an extension cord to make it super easy to connect your crap. 4, because we don't have to talk about it already, because Devin told you about a generator. 4, have a notification system. Know when your power is out. 5, know what kind of gear you need for your tank to survive before something is coming your way. Because to wait for it to come your way is not adequate. Walk yourself and a friend through the process of connecting up your generator or whatever other backup system you may have. And then run the generator quarterly. That's 7. 8, battery backups are what keep your shit running until you get your generator fired up. What's up, Tyler? Love how quiet diesel gen is. My WEN gas generator, my whole 1600, 1800, it's probably 1800 watts, is really quiet when I'm inside. Tough fish, don't care. You got them. See, they just hang out. When they need oxygen, they damn well climb out of the tank. Walk over to the refrigerator, get you a brew, pull themselves out some cold cuts, maybe a little cheese, maybe a little mustard and mayo, make themselves a sandwich, hang out with you, watching whatever you're watching because it ain't the TV, you're just chilling. And then when they're done with the sandwich, give you nucks, get back in the tank. That's how tough your fish are, Bert? I don't doubt it. What's up, Kim? Glad to see you're doing great. Appreciate it. Electricity almost costing $1 a kilowatt hour. Holy hell. Ooh. My solar's good. My solar been up there 3 years. Those are 100-watt panels. They're cheap. They were $100 a pop. And they're doing really well. Good to hear from you, dude. Hey, talk to you. Ain't seen you around in a minute. Hit me up. DM me if you're still floating around out there. It'd be good to catch up. Tesla. Oh, yeah. Scott. Okay, that's number 9. Wait. What number was I on? That's totally an awesome point, because if you're rocking lead acid batteries, which I don't like, but some people use, if you're rocking a lead acid, once a year, do a load test on that battery to see what it's capable of, because it will degrade. It's going to degrade over time. In 3 years, there's a really good chance you're going to have 80% or less capacity. I would expect less. This is not Oban. What is this? This was so nice. I can't remember. Holy hell, $1 a kilowatt hour. I think I'm at 16 cents US. Yeah, Scott, thank you. Test your battery backup. Know that it has the capacity, because there's a real good chance you're gonna unplug from the wall and it's gonna go off, because your lead acid battery is crap. Consider lithium iron phosphates, like we talked about earlier, non-flammable, direct replacements for lead acid. Will charge on a lead acid charger. Yes, sir. Take care. Yeah, 15 kilowatt. All right, I'll show it, Nico. Sheesh. 4 Jabo Wavemaker SW50s. That's all I want in case. Those are 24 volts. Those are 24 volts, and they're probably, if you can tell me the wattage, that would be pretty handy. Because if you're going to tell me 24 volts, and you're going to tell me 3 watts apiece, that's a half an amp? Yes. And that's a half an amp, and you want to run it for... You didn't say how long you wanted to run it for, but let's pretend you wanted to run it for 24 hours. Then you need, at a half an amp, you need a 12 amp hour battery. But if you wanted to get fancy, you buy a 20 amp hour battery. That way you know you're almost at 2 days. That's what I would do. Who got questions? I think it was good that Devin did that video. I don't think you should wait for National Preparedness Month to do that video, because you should talk about it often. I think what you're going to see, I'm hoping you see more from Devin, that he's going to toss that old lead acid pack that he has. Better yet, you know what I want him to do? I want him to do a capacity test and compare that capacity test to the full capacity rating of the battery pack that he has, because I know those were used batteries that he had, that he installed. So who knows what their capacity truly is under load. You got to put it under load. Put it under 1C load or something that's going to challenge those batteries, and see what they'll do. I'm excited to see more people, maybe, hopefully, take legit battery backup systems to heart, right? Because I think it's important. I did not get the tank on the stand yet. You raised about those old ass lead acids. I know he does, but he hasn't done a capacity test. Last year I tried to get him to do one, and he didn't do it. Here we go. Filipino Reefer. Cell phone battery pack. What's the voltage of a cell phone battery pack? Go ahead, tell me. Because you pulled it out and you metered it yourself. Go on. I'm going to challenge you, you asshole. I'm going to challenge you to tell me what you have personally done. Not what you've watched on the internet. What's up, Kyle? You missed it all. What should we talk about? Kyle and I need to casual reef keeping. Kyle and I need to do a thing. We were going to do a thing, and then I was stuck at work, and we didn't get to do a thing. Go check out his YouTube channel. He's going to start talking about some cool stuff, I think. Go on. I'm waiting right here. Filipino River, I'll wait right here. Go. That's not a challenge. To go measure the voltage of a cell phone battery is not a challenge. It's a task. It's a minor task. Come on. My Apex is telling me my tank uses 3 amps max during a day. I mean, that could be right. Is your heaters plugged into that thing? And what's the wattage of your heater? Pretend it's 300 watts. $300 divided by 120 is only 2.5 amps. Sam, totally possible. Tell me you got a 300 watt heater or less. There's never too many Kyles. Come on, Kyle. Kyle. You got stuck on clogging the sink. Yeah, that could happen. Come on, Sam. What's your heater? What's your wattage in the cottage, bro? Yo, I have really appreciated the fact that thug reefing has slacked off quite a bit, right? There was some thug business going on for a while, and it's totally slacked off. Because you know what? It's not going to work. It doesn't work. It'll be like this. I'll see you soon, Sam. Once I get something together with Todd, we'll have to talk about electrolytes. Oh, yeah. That's cool. That'll be good. Todd from Puddle Aquatics. Todd, the creator of the recently spotlighted... Oh, hell. Reef... I just went brain dead. Reef Box. Check out Reef Builders for the spotlight of the Reef Box. 3 gallons of water. It's a light and a pump. And that's it, bro. It's got to be less. Yeah, but it's got a heater. So, yeah, it should be less. I mean, really, it's an Apex. How accurate do you think it really is? I don't know what the accuracy is of their power monitoring. That toothpick's gone. I'm glad I got this battery thing already sorted. DOI doing it seems easy. In retrospect, the battery backup wasn't. No, the batteries are easy. If you could change the batteries, whatever. You could if you're old like me and you could program a VCR where you could change the batteries in your smoke detector, you can make your own battery backup because it's really easy. No heater because you hug it because it's living off the light that emulates from your smile as you're looking at the tank and holding your children. Still waiting, Filipino Reaver. Still waiting. Come on. How's those Jabos going to hook up to a 20 amp easily? A 20 amp hour battery is still a 12 volt battery. So you hook up, you got to get a booster. So you get one of those Amazon boost converter that takes 12 volts and turns it into 24. You just hook that boost converter up to your battery. Get a fuse. It might be helpful. Especially if you're using lead acid, use a fuse. And then you plug your Jabo into, consider a Reef Box, consider DIY options. I like Reef Box because it's super easy. You don't have to do anything. If your Jabo is plugged into so you take the wall wart and you unplug it from the Jabo controller and you plug it into the Reef Box. And then you take your boost converted 12 volt battery that's now 24 volts and you plug that into your Reef Box. And then you plug your Jabo into your Reef Box. So now you've got regular power and you've got 24 volts. And then it'll run off the regular power until you lose regular power. When you lose it, it goes, oh, I need the battery. And then the battery powers the Jabo. And it's 24 volts. So don't worry about it being 20 amp hour, not 20 amps. Do you have to have a list on that's all that's needed for that because I'm lost? Actually, I just posted it a couple posts ago. But yeah, I'll send you what you need. DM me on Instagram. And I'll send you exactly what you need to power however many J-Bows you got. Because I think I can guess. I'll look up what their wattage is. All of this can be had from Amazon. What are you gonna prove me? Got my scooter today. I'll show you. You're not gonna. There's no wrong. You're not gonna prove me wrong. Back to the scooter batteries, 18650s. Suppose you're not going to use a BMS. Suppose you're not going to hook them up. Oh, by the way, you can't get 12 volts out of a scooter battery. It's going to be screwed up voltage. It's either going to be too low or too high. And then because they're 18650s, the best you could do is 24 volts, which isn't a bad idea, but still. I mean, you're not proving me wrong. You're proving what everybody else who plays with 18650s on the internet can show you. And it's not for the masses. It's not a common solution, a simple solution for the majority of people who are looking for a backup battery. Yes, it can be done. It's super easy. Yes, it can be done safely, but not as safely as a lithium iron phosphate. You're adding complications just to prove something that you don't have to prove. That's very simple. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but I'm not going to be okay with it. Just get that. Because generally people aren't going to do what you're going to do. There's no value to it when you could do it much simpler with a safer battery formulation. Oh, hell yeah, double conversion. Where do you think that toothpick went? I don't think that's what he's really doing. He's just trying to tell me, Filipino Reefer is trying to tell me that a scooter battery that's powered with 18650s. Please hold. I pulled these out the other day. Don't forget your capped on tape. He's trying to tell me that if you put 18650s end to end, that you're going to be able to create a decent backup battery. Wrong. You're not going to do that. You're going to put them in a fixture. And you're going to weld the terminals with little nickel strips. That's what you're going to do to create the battery pack at the voltage that you want. I mean, this is what you're trying to do. I don't know what you're trying to... Send you pics on Instagram. Super simple battery backup, unfinished, but works. Bert. Yup. That's all you need. This is it. This is a 12.8 volt lithium iron phosphate. It's a MyAddy. Is that 20 amp hour? Is that what that is? Bert, right there. This is what you do. Here's how you do it. It's a lithium iron phosphate. It's not going to catch on fire. Super simple. Inverter. Hopefully it's a pure sine wave inverter. But that's how you do it. That's the way to do it. And a different kind of charger than what I recommend, but it's the exact same charger, just a different name. That's Bert. See, Bert's doing it right. 20 amp hour. Go ahead and let me know how many of these it takes to get to 20 amp hour, because these are measuring like 2, and that's not at 12 volts. 500 watt pure sine wave. There you go. Now you can run your heater. All right. I don't need a sword fight with Filipino River here. I just knock yourself out, dude. Don't do it, because if it catches on fire, you're gonna be pissed. Just make sure you're using a BMS. Note there's no BMS on this pack because I was playing. Do it with a BMS. Do it with a proper setup. Oh, see, Brinks is rolling in with a boss mode. 2 Tesla power walls. Hell yeah. Those things are awesome. One day. I'm reading. What'd I miss? I missed a comment that Kyle replied. My generator doesn't have an inverter, so I'm guessing don't hook up controllers. Oh, it doesn't have a pure sine wave inverter. It has an inverter because it's creating whatever. It's creating AC. Yeah, I'm with Kyle. Mine's not. I'm not getting a pure sine wave out of mine. I don't care. If you're concerned, plug your. Oh no, that's not going to work. Never mind. Don't do that. It would have to be a fancy UPS to do that. Yeah. Kyle says it there. Casual Reef Keeping says it there. It could ruin some power supplies only because the sine wave is so not pure, and those power supplies are pulling more amperage to be able to put out the same amount of power. But it's really not that big of a deal. Try it first because just try it. That way you'll know. That way when you plug in your generator and all your stuff goes boo, you're like, oh shit. But do it before the bad thing happens. Test all this stuff out before you need it. That's all I can say, right? All right, that's all I got. I appreciated the video that Devin put out, and I really wanted to add to that for the common folk, right? The number one thing for me, know where the hell that extension cord is, because you can have all the fancy equipment you need. But if you can't find your extension cord, if you used it someplace else, or it's attached to your weed whacker or something, that sucks, and you're going to need that thing. The battery Will Prowse drilled that actually caught on fire after a few seconds was wild, right? That's lithium. That's 18650, same chemistry. A line interactive UPS filter gen if you're worried. Yeah, or one of those fancy ones that are always running off the battery. Line interactive's okay. Like, that's nice. That's a nice UPS. But if you've got a UPS that's always running off a battery and then the AC that it's receiving is only charging the battery, that'd be cool. What's up, Remy? I hit up Remy today. I was like, sup, dude? Remy's busy. I was listening. Actually, I was riding to work because Remy is a St. Louis-based country station DJ. And I like listening to him every once in a while because it's humbling. Because you watch his stuff and he's humorous and he's able to talk to the camera and to the mic and be able to share and project his story. And I like listening occasionally to his, well, first because there's no country music because they cut all that out. But it's just the talk portion of his radio show. So you get to listen to that as a podcast and enjoy that kind of thing. And I like listening to his ability to interact with his co-host Casey and do what they do because he's a pro. He's good. I like it. Telegram at 12-volt pump you bought. Was the OD on the outlet 12 meter? I'll measure it, Kyle. Can you DM me, please? Because I won't remember. I don't OD 12 millimeters. 12 millimeters seems small. This thing's kind of beefy. It is not the same as like a PMUP. What's up, Sleaze? I like when the Discord crew jumps on. That's fun. Go check out Remy. Go check him out. Remy Casey. I don't remember the name of the station. I have a picture. For reals. I was listening to him on the way in this morning. I was like, dude, you're good at this. Dude's a pro. 92.3 WIL. New country for St. Louis. Boom. And you know Remy's top dog because his name comes first. It comes before the girl. Sorry, I called Casey a girl. All right, I'm out. All right, cool. Thanks, Kyle. I'll share what I have. Thanks, y'all. I appreciate you showing up on a Tuesday. I don't know what the best day is yet. I'm playing around. I like having options. Saturday was cool, but sometimes I'm like, meh, I don't want to do it on Saturday. Sunday's cool. Let me share this. I'm gonna roll out of here on a somber note. Some of you may remember that a friend of mine, and he was noted as Mac Shack Engineering, would come and hang out on our streams, and his name was Bruce. And I've known Bruce. Oh, what was his history? He's got biology and engineering, so he's got degrees in both. He was a Reagan-era Star Wars guy, so he's always played with lasers. And then I met Bruce on the YAL-1A airborne laser in 1999, because I was on the B-2 from 93 to 99, B-2 stealth bomber. And then from 99 to probably 2006, I was on the airborne laser, ABL. I probably met Bruce in 2000. Cool guy. I was riding motorcycles. I was track daying motorcycles. I would jump on my bike in the morning and go ride around all over the place, Topeka Canyon, down into Malibu, out through the desert, whatever. And I also rode dirt bikes. I had a XL600 that I could, a dual sport that I could take off road if I wanted. I met Bruce. We started talking about, he was an SCCA racer from way back. He's crewed, he's Sebring. He's been all over the place. And he did a bunch of racing. Cool guy. Also liked shooting guns, also liked blasting through the desert on dirt bikes. We had some epic rides. Both dirt and street. Bruce passed away on Sunday. I think it was Sunday. It was this weekend. His wife called me up early in the morning. I was sitting there having coffee, and she let me know. And that's incredibly sad. And I'm kind of holding it together right now because I'll really miss that guy. Really good friend for a long time. Totally good dude. Generous. Helpful. Give you the shirt off his back kind of dude. And now he's gone. So I got to carry forth his legacy of awesomeness, however little bit that I can possibly do that. So cheers, Bruce, Mac Shack Engineering. Thank you for being part of my life, brother. All right, y'all. Wrapping it up on a down note, but a positive thing because that gentleman was an awesome influence in my life. So, pros and cons. Everybody goes. So if you appreciate people, let them know. All right, y'all. Happy reefing. Be kind. Call your mom. And your dad, too. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks, y'all. Bye-bye. Ride in peace. I like that.